Hey YouTube and gaming peeps, it's Neil from Game Revolution. Coming back to you, introducing a new series I'm doing. And this is going to be, what's your favourite? Yeah, this goes out to all of you who subscribe to my channel or visited my site or checked the videos out. This series is going to focus on what's your favourite. And for this first one, we're going to do what is your favourite beat 'em up of all time. Now I don't want you to just say, oh, I like Street Fighter and that's it. Explain why it's your favourite. Was it the graphics that were good? Was it the gameplay or the fun you had or the memories it brings flooding back? I'm going to give you my top 5 beat 'em ups and why I think they were great. You could do your own top 5, just comment in the boxes below and give me a top 5 and I'll give you mine. So we're going to start with my 5th slot for beat 'em up of all time. Now this one is going to absolutely be probably a game a load of people have played, and this is going to be Marvel vs Capcom. It had to be in there somewhere, let's face it. It's an absolute legendary game. I love the colourfulness of it, the characters with your Spider-Man and your Captain America, they're all brought into one. It was superb, and the combos you could pull out were brilliant. The sounds are great. You know, later on when they did the tag team where you could have 2 heroes together and swap between each other, it's just superb. I absolutely love it, and that's why it had to be number 5. Ultimately, it might have been higher, but there were others that I just sat down and thought, nah, they're even better. But you can't get up to this, so it got into number 5. So we'll go into my next one, and this is at number 4, and this is the fact that it's got to be in there. It's probably going to be quite controversial because I'm sure it's number 1 slot in most people's, and I would have to say Street Fighter 2, the original. Fantastic game. I mean, you can't beat a bit of, oh, you wicked. Fantastic. What can I say? Came out to a storm on the SNES. I loved it on the SNES. You know, graphically it was brilliant. The sound was great. I mean, you'll always you'll always remember it. Absolutely brilliant. You know, everybody remembers the tune. It's instantly recognisable. It was so fun to play. I remember playing with my cousin, and we spent hours and hours on it playing. Oh, it was brilliant. And beat 'em ups haven't got that much longevity to them. But however, you know, when you have to go through several characters and get each of their endings, that's brilliant. And even the bonus round with the car you smash up, that was brilliant. So it had to be in my top 5, and that's going to be my number 4. Moving swiftly on, we're going to go into my number 3. Yes, a number 3. Gotta be Tekken, and I would say 2. Reason being, I love Tekken 1, but Tekken 2 just made that little leap forwards on the PlayStation, and I loved it. It's a franchise that Sony have done well to maintain, and I love Tekkens. However, he thinks they might be having their day. They got a bit stale of late. Now I know they've announced Tekken 7. I know that. Will they come back and reignite beat 'em up genre? Considering Mortal Kombat X is on the horizon, which looks absolutely stunning, and so does Dead or Alive 5: The Last Round. Also another game that looks stunning. And with the advancements of the Street Fighters, they're going to have to pull something out of the bag to say, hey, it's Tekken, we're still the top dog, check it out. And it has King in it, so how can you not go wrong? So that is going to be my number 3 because I love the Tekken. I mean, graphically, it was brilliant on PS1. Fighting was brilliant. The grappling, the moves, yeah, and the character imagination was brilliant. I mean, from King, I mean, you know, you'll always recognise Tekken 2's intro. It was a brilliant intro, and Hayashi at the end. It's just superb. So that is going to be my number 3, and I would say it deserves a spot. Now we're probably going to go into controversy here with my next 2. Number 2 is going to be a little game that I first watched being played on the old classic program, the Games Master. Do we all remember that? I'd say you'd have to be an older person to remember the Games Master. However, it's Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct was fantastic. Watching the guy on Games Master pull out a 147 hit combo without the person hitting the ground, the Skelly character, was superb, and I played it and I loved it. You may always remember it on the stairs as well with the black box. None of the others had really black boxes. It always stood out and you're like, ooh, what's that? And then when it gold, and the new Killer Instinct looks absolutely stunning. Yeah, it has to be up there. I like the imagination of the characters. I like the soundtrack they use. I love the graphics of it and the fun ability, and the characters totally wacky. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And that leads me swiftly on to my number 1. Now, this will probably be quite a few people's number 1s, but it had to be my number 1, and that's Mortal Kombat. And I would say the very original. The reason for that is, I know there was only a handful of characters and it looked dated, but I bought this game on day 1 for the Mega Drive, and I spent 50 quid on it when it first got released. And at my school we were having a showcase day, and I bought in the Sega Mega Drive with my fresh Mortal Kombat. And I charged for charity, I charged £1 a go. And it was going to charity anyway. But people are loving it. And the SNES version wasn't getting as much accolade because it had sweat instead of blood. But the Mega Drive version was getting much props for having the blood. And we were all battling, nobody knew any fatalities, any moves really. And then come that magical moment when I accidentally pulled off Sub-Zero's finisher, where he rips the spine and head from the body. There was a stunned silence at the school. Absolutely stunned. They could not believe it. And for that, that's why it's my original. I love the characters in it. I love the movies when they made the movies. I know they get snagged up a lot. I like how they progressed the series. And that one is where it all began. Had great stories to the characters. The graphics were great. Finishers. Nobody's seen that much brutality in a beat-em-up game ever, to be honest. And that is why it's my number 1. Now, although that is my number 1, I have to make some honourable mentions to games such as Fatal Fury, stunning set of games. That's definitely one. And Guilty Gears, Darkstalker. I haven't counted wrestling in there because it would be my number 1 because I love wrestling games. But you know, going back to SmackDowns and things like that. And if we go way back, then honourable mentions apart from this is mainly the 2D beat-em-ups I'm doing here. But if we had to go back to beat-em-ups in general, Streets of Rage would be a king, without a shadow of doubt, along with Final Fight and Double Dragon. So there's some honourable mentions. Tell me what your favourite is. Down below, have a discussion. Let's discuss which one's the best, and see what people's thoughts are, why they picked what they picked. And come back for more. I'll be doing another one in the series very shortly for you to ponder over. Happy gaming!